to Let's Talk Concrete. This is where we empower you with the information you need to go out to your customers and be the trusted advisor that you are. So today we have Dan Voyko with us, and we're going to be talking about fibers.
For the sales members that are on the road, they're listening to this, what are the trends, just real hot off the hip, that they can go take to their suppliers or contractors right now? I'm guessing suppliers, right? They're going to go in with this tips presentation. First slide, trends. What trends is fiber going to help or can help address?
So really, I think the first trend and probably the number one trend with a lot of our suppliers and producers is that your volumes are probably down. You want to maximize some of that revenue and make up for that soft market that a lot of us, a lot of areas are experiencing. The value-added products, fibers, hands down, is probably the number one avenue for that producer to increase some of that lost sales from previous years.
Yeah. Okay. So soft market, the implications are your top line's going down, right? So this is the possibilities going into that P, right? Is what are the possibilities that you have that a rep can go and say, hey, here's all the possible solutions, or maybe something that you might have done as an example.
Yeah, and that's kind of where every market's going to be a little different, where, some markets, residential's still not doing too bad. Mortgage rates are, variable, to some extent, but we still, I think, fundamentally have a shortage in housing in certain areas. So microfibers, residential driveways, basements in certain areas, a great, easy application for microfibers, especially just to put in what we call COD type of orders. The producer can just put microfibers in as an insurance policy for themselves to help eliminate any type of callbacks from their customers. Put the microfibers in the concrete, help eliminate some callbacks if producer or the contractor might get some cracking potentially, It usually kind of helps overcome sometimes poor workmanship of maybe some extra water being applied on the surface, sometimes once in a while with that as well. Also, just certain markets, data centers, some of those warehousing area structures are still going strong right now, especially with AI. There's just not enough, computation power everywhere. All those are great applications for the macrofibers. So again, those are some areas where, the commercial construction, the malls, the big box store decline is there right now, but some of those other areas where those big, large flat work in the ready mix sector is still there. And then still some of those infrastructure needs where we look at utility precast, septic tanks, box culverts, burial vaults, for example. Easy applications where it's day in, day out, very process oriented. You're not chasing jobs. That's where that operational efficiency and the benefits of fiber come in, where you're really limiting some of that time and labor that goes into using the traditional bar and mesh for those applications. Oh, yes. And the safety, eliminating some of those the concerns that the workers have of bending the bar, especially when sometimes you've got to bend mesh into weird curvatures for cones, for example.
Yeah, cutting yourself, and that's tedious, and insurance policy for your insurance policy. It's,
and, insurance policies kind of vary a little bit based on, for the contractor, but sometimes there's different insurance rates where a multitude of, let's say, non-life-threatening injuries that require, let's say, stitches, due to hand and cut lacerations due to wire mesh or bar. Let's say you've got maybe a dozen various injuries of those in your contractor organization, can sometimes hit your premium almost as bad as, let's say, one single more severe type of injury. Because if you have more of those multiple, less threatening injuries, they serve as, the insurance companies sometimes view those as you've got a culture, a repeatable safety climate issue within your organization, where it's injury after injury, and that's where again the fibers can alleviate and offset some of those basic non-threatening type of injuries that occur.
So saving money, potential saving money, but also adding to your top line. So it looks like if you can find these applications, there's kind of that win-win. And going in, the cost of inaction is you keep doing status pro, you're going to stay as soft. You're not going to be as, as top line as you want to be. I think that's pretty good for what we have. And what I like to end with is, what are the 3 things that a rep can do right now to get something going? Should they put an opportunity in Salesforce for something? Should they go out and look for a certain type of project, or get in contact with you? What are the top 3 things that you would like them to do to make them successful and grow their sales?
Yeah. So I'd say number 1, put all those opportunities in Salesforce. Document everything through Salesforce, any type of master fiber opportunity, especially. 2, if you've got a partner producer that, let's say, is already using fibers, but it's a competitor fiber, we've got the most comprehensive portfolio, I think, by any admixture supplier, any fiber supplier overall in the marketplace, where you want a rope fiber, no problem, a stick, a tape, the different varying type of microfibers that we can offer, a good, better, best type solution based on that customer's needs. So that's where I feel like we can compete and exceed anybody in the competition. So that's kind of some low-hanging fruit, I think, is don't back down. We can go right at the competition with our portfolio, especially with Great Lakes Polymer and FabPro being part of our overall Master Builders family, with access to the manufacturing facility. And then lastly, I'd say rely on us, some of your various resources here in Beechwood, whether it's myself in product management, the various technical development resources that we have in the lab, where we can do some of the in-house fiber testing with customers' materials, or some of the work order support that we might need to do to meet let's say, a certain DOT type requirement with local materials for a producer on a given job. And then, of course, really reaching out to Mark Rashad, Devin Fillingame, and in our engineering support team, where not every company can look at drawings, and provide that instant support right away. Here's a fiber opportunity. We have no problem being able to pick up the phone, talk to an engineer of record, provide a possible fiber value-added engineering solution a lot of times as well. And not to mention, really take advantage of the various the engineering e-tools that we have, where you've got a concrete slab, for example, reinforced with wire mesh or bar. How much fiber would it take to what would my dosage rate be? Plug in your initial slab design. You can instantly get that answer right away as well. So I'd say don't forget to take advantage of not just utilizing us here, or various resources here in Beechwood, but the online Concrete Now app e-tools as well.
Perfect. So just to recap that, we have make sure you put this in Salesforce so we can track it, we can help you, it's visible. The second part was, what would you just said? Take advantage of us here at Beechwood. We're here to help you sell, here to grow that.
The different functions,
Yep. And the third one is
various
leverage our tools.
e-tools resources.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, that's it. Hopefully you find that useful. Please give us some feedback, and hope you have a good day. Happy selling, and let's have a good year. All right. Cool. Thank you.